Teardrop in my eye, a teardrop in my eye. People come and people go. We pass through each other's lives. But first I'm going to tell you a story about a brand new Corvette. Convertible. Straight out of the dealership, a senior citizen. Not somebody so unlike me. Maybe this guy could be a pickleball player or a basketball player. So let's just say the guy takes off down the road. By the way, this is not who I'm referring to. It could be me. It could be you. It could be anyone. So he takes off down the road, puts the pedal to the metal. Next thing you know, he's going 120 mile an hour, enjoying the wind blowing through his gray locks of hair. That is all the hair he had left on his balding head. His knees were hurting because he had them wrapped up in splints because all those years of playing basketball had done them in. Hey, he could still play a little pickleball now and then. And he flew down the thruway. He threw his hat in the ring. He pushed the metal to the metal, to the metal, to the metal. And he looked in the rearview mirror and he saw a state trooper behind him with the lights flashing and the siren blaring. And he floored it even more and he got it up to 180 miles an hour. Then suddenly he slowed down to 110, 120, and then he thought about what he was doing. And he said, man, I'm too old for this. I should be playing pickleball. And he pulled over slowly onto the side of the road and awaited the trooper's arrival. And the trooper pulled behind him, walked up to the Corvette, looked at his watch and said, sir, my shift ends in 30 minutes. Today is Friday. If you can give me a really good reason for speeding, one that I've never heard before, I'll let you go. And the gentleman paused, and then he said, well, years ago, my wife ran off with a state trooper, and I thought you were bringing him back. Have a good day, sir, said the state trooper. Now, this has no relationship. It's just a little fun and giggles before I get into something a little more somber. It has nothing to do with anybody that I ever knew. I just thought it was a good piece of mind food. Where would we be without our state troopers? We'd be in a heck of a mess. So a big shout out to all the state troopers. Well, I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine, Trooper Al. Trooper Al G. Ostrander. Trooper Al. He served the public well, a life well lived, and he was loved by all he knew. He liked the Yankees, rooted for the Knicks, and was a big New York Giants fan. For about a decade, I played noontime basketball at the Albany YMCA with Trooper Al, and we had a great time butting heads and knocking each other on the floor. He was rough and tumble and stronger than me, and boy, he could shoot the lights out. That is when he wasn't playing golf or working. And he was a varsity high school basketball official. And he played and coached for over a quarter of a century in the Colony Senior Basketball League. He was a hard-working man. Now I live out rural in the middle of Timbuktu and nowhere on top of a mountain, and one day I pulled out of my driveway. I always had the habit of pulling out of the driveway in my pick-em-up truck and then fastening my seatbelt. I mean, the chance of seeing anybody on the road or anything happening were next to nothing. And behind me, the siren and the bubblegum machine went off, and Trooper Al pulled me over, wrote me a ticket for not having a seatbelt. Al, what are you doing? But that's the kind of guy Al was. A job was a job, and a job is a job well done. No partiality to friends. A tough, hard-working man. And then, I can't tell you how many times he gave me sneakers. One time he gave me a new pair of sneakers. Another time he gave me his last pair of sneakers. Yeah, that was last year. He gave me, when I was playing in the Colony League, he gave me his last pair of sneakers that he played in. Those are like golden sneakers to me now. Not the kind of sneakers that you throw over a telephone line with the laces tied in the knot. No, siree, the kind that you would chrome. Trooper Al, all business, on the hardwood and off. And the funny thing is, you could be butting heads with Al throughout the game. He had a will to win and a will to live. And then you'd sit down in the locker room to have some lunch, and he'd give you half his sandwich, half his dessert, half his candy, half his Coke. He had a heart of gold, and he's surely going to be missed by all the hundreds of thousands of people that he touched. He's followed by his wife, Patricia, a devoted father to Susan, and his son, Butch. And just as an aside, he was at Butch's basketball game. Butch played at the Colony Senior League last Saturday. And I had seen Butch on Friday night, and I said, "Butch, is your dad going to make it tomorrow?" And he said, if he's up to it. So he saw his son play his game at the Colony League. And that Sunday morning, our dear Al passed away. May he rest in peace. As I wipe the teardrop from all our eyes, I'm sure that the gates of heaven are open for Al. Oh boy, it's always sad when somebody you know so well passes away. A moment of silence for Al.